How we been? Really? How we been? We've been good here. Busy. Been real busy. Back in the saw shop. Pretty obvious. Try to get some more of these saws done. We got about four. It's been a pain in the butt. These 268, 272 conversions, the turning 61, 66, right out of that whole series. I've been plagued with intake leaks. And we'll cover that in a few minutes, but I want to show you something. We are putting a 390 carburetor on a 272 top end for Hogan Smith saw. And that's the 390 carb. Pretty identifiable. That's where it picks the vacuum up. We're going to tap into the case and put our vacuum out of the crankshaft. That's where it's going to be. I don't like the idea. I've been having too much trouble with these saws leaking air that I don't want to pull. I've always wanted to try this anyway. I don't want to pull the vacuum through the intake block. It's just something wrong about that in my eyes. Is it okay? Sure, they've been doing it for years with great success. But everybody knows all them 200 series saws, you got to watch them intakes from leaking. I don't care what it is. Even the 394s you do. You got to watch them. 288s, 272, 268, 61, 66. That's a leak right there on that block has burnt more of them up than time has. I'll promise you that. When these were something that was, you could still go to buy the dealer and get parts for, which you pretty much can't anymore. I put a lot of top ends on 272s. A lot of guys run them around here. I run the 44 steel. I didn't want to deal with all that. And I still run a 44. And but I tell you what you got to do to make this carburetor fit this saw as the right bolt pattern. It really does. I had to change some things around. And I'll tell you what I did. I took these parts right here all out of the 380 carb. The choke shaft and the throttle shaft. I took them right off the 390, and I took the 272 carburetor, choke and throttle shaft, and they go right in. That way it chokes right. What happens is you have the manual throttle right here, which I'll show you right here. That throttle lever that hits that long shaft that holds your high idle. You can't have that. So we did that. I used the 390 butterflies. I'll tell you that right now. Now, particularly on the 266 and the 61s, when you put the 272 top end, because you know that's what I do, you have to use the 272 intake, bolts, use your original air horn. Okay? That's how you do it. Now, if you're doing a 268 and wanting to put the 272 top end, like we did for Daryl Burgess saw there, Slammer, how you doing, buddy? Lane, Whiteout, good friends right there. Your easy day. You don't have to change nothing. It's all right there. You got all the parts. Just get the 272 top end, throw it on, away you go. Now, so this carburetor, this one particular carburetor, I was never satisfied with. It run, but it was finicky. If you watch some of the videos of Hogan running that, I kept quitting on him and being hard to start. Now, I'm going to tell you something. My problem really has been the aftermarket gaskets I'm using. The blocks don't seem to be the problem that's aftermarket, but I've got one or two that they leaked. Oh, excuse me. But I seen in the comments, a bunch of you guys said, well, I can go right to my dealer. I can buy them parts. They carry all that stuff right in stock. My dealer don't. He told me quite honestly, he says he can't even get it. Now, I know he knows I work on saws, so he's probably not real cooperative. Now, I got to drive an hour just to go to Husqvarna dealer, just get a few gaskets. That ain't fun. But when he hasn't got them, he hasn't got them. And I've been just using the motorcycle engine assembly silicone, trying to get these 4 saws out of my hair. They're done. They run good, except for this one here. We got a little problem I'll talk about in a minute. And it seems like that works. Well, okay, 4 of them. One of them, you got to know, Robert Ramsden, his saw, the silicone didn't work on. It made me think. I run it 3 times, getting ready to put it in the box. My son Colin is standing right there. He says, it's good to go, isn't it? That's a nice running saw. It really is. And sure as crap, I started that, and it's like, boy, that needs adjusting. That's funny. We cut 2 3/8 cord of wood with it. Been using it around the back pasture, all kinds of stuff. Been doing good. So it sets a couple days. We're going to ship saws and ship that to him. Nope. So I got out my little can of brake parts cleaner. Yeah, Walmart. Well, $1.94, whatever it is. It's good. It works. Pulled the lid, sprayed around. When you spray that, get right down underneath everything, right in there. I mean, you get that underneath. It seems like they want to leak underneath more than they do on top. And if that catches a whiff of that brake clean, soft just like that. So, okay. So I didn't ship it. Now I'm glad I didn't. Once in a while, there's one of you on this channel. Now, I want you to know something. I'm impressed with all of you. I'm impressed with your attitudes, your conviction, your intelligence. You guys are sharp people. You're really sharp. I learn from you guys. I mean, you guys don't sell yourself short. Yeah, I'm the guy in front of the camera, but some days a trained orangutan can do what I do. Other days you need me. But I'm going to show you something. With this intake problem, I'm not using any more aftermarket gaskets. I've tried 3 different brands. I won't go into them. You know who they are. Eddie Elvin, in his comments a couple videos ago, he says, well, he left me an email. When he found out I was having trouble getting this stuff, he says, I think my dealer can help. I called him. He said, I think my dealer can help. He's down in PA. One of PA Stump Jumper boys. Brand new intake blocks. Husqvarna. Gaskets. Yeah, brand new. Look at that. Look at that. Bagfuls of that stuff. Absolutely amazing. Bagfuls. Eddie, I don't know what to say, man. I just don't know what to say. I am so glad to have people like you here, Eddie. I want you to know that. I really am. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. He did something I couldn't do. This is a proof that when people in the world get together that's like-minded, hasn't got a chip on their shoulder, don't want something for nothing, other than, I tried to PayPal him, he wouldn't take the money. He said, no, this is on me. He wrote me a note. I generally don't do this. He writes like I do. Yeah, he writes just like I do. The difference is I can read his writing. I can't read my own. He says, Harvey, just wanted to say that I really enjoy your content that you put out there. I enjoy everything from the saw videos to the greenhouse to the childhood memories you share. Thanks, Eddie. I'm glad your boy is in the videos with you. Tell him I'm a fan. Colin got a fan. Yes, he does. I also thank both of you for your service to this great country. Yeah, we was both in the military. Colin was in the Marines for 5 years. I just spent one big hitch in Army, 18th Airborne Corps, Rapid Deployment as a combat medic. I'm sorry for getting these gaskets out late to you. I know that you know how life gets in the way. Oh boy, do I know about life getting in the way. That's why that throughout the last 2 months, you notice these videos we've been making about every day, or or at least 5 a week, and life's been getting in the way bad. I'm gonna tell you that. There's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I have things that have to be taken care of. They got to be taken care of. People depend on me. I have to stand up and be counted. Okay, so life gets in the way. If you ever need anything, please let me know, and I'll take care of you. See, that's what I'm talking about. We have to take care of each other, all of us. Lastly, I know you're backed up with work, but I still can't get my 61/272 running right. So apparently what you got, Eddie, is a 61. You put the 272 top end on. Is that right? I was wondering if I could send it up to you, and whenever, he underlined whenever, you could look at it, I'd be grateful. I'm not hard-pressed for the saw, but it is a go-to work saw, or workhorse for me. Have a great day, and keep up the awesome videos. Thanks, Eddie. Eddie, buddy, we're behind on saws. Some of them months and months. Not many left, but enough. We're whacking them out as we can get to them. Just be patient. Right now, I'm not taking, other than those of you that's asked me privately about saws. I've told you approximately when I think I can do them. I'm really backed right into fall, at least. Eddie, send me your saw. I'll fix it. We're going to do something we haven't done, because Eddie stepped up first. He did. With a pure heart. Pure heart. I'm going to fix your saw. That's what I'm going to do. And it's not going to cost you a nickel. If you need parts, you got to pay the parts, pay the shipping. If I can find your email, we talked there, a week ago. I'll email you with my address and approximately when you should send that. And I do understand these other people's saws are a priority. They're loyal subscribers also. And we got to take care of them. But I'll take care of you, Eddie, as soon as I can. I want you to know that. And it'll be right. It'll be right. But email me, and I'll send you my address, and we'll get that taken care of. Nice job. Very important stuff. Good stuff right there. It's like when I got that first little iron horse. He's sitting over there on the other bench. Every bench I got full of saws. I can't take another one apart. They gotta just shuffle out the door, and that's what we're here for. Now, this was a nice little project, putting this 390 carb on. I always felt like the 272 never had quite enough carburetor. In the upper mid-range, you ever notice your 272, it's got the bark, it just don't have the oomph. It's like taking a big block Ford or Chevy and putting too small a carburetor in it. It'll run, it'll idle around, do anything you want, but it don't have the oomph until you put an 850 double pumper on it or something. They take big carb. And 71cc saw, I think that they need a bigger carburetor than what they put on them. So this is the first one we've done. We're doing it for the Smiths. Excited to see it. I thought for sure today that I'd have this saw back together and tomorrow morning start it and be done with it. Now, here comes the rub. I can't do it. My cylinder started flaking. Yeah, the nickel sil's coming right off it. I haven't had that happen with the highway yet. I had a Cross do that, and I had an OEM do that 2 or 3 years ago for no reason. This is the first time I've had one of these do that. So I'll tell you what it did. I talked to my buddy Kenzie. Bayou Country Power Saws. That Kenzie, yes. I says, Kenzie, I got him on WhatsApp. Did you have a problem? And he says, yeah, at 359. He told me what's going on, but he says that wasn't because of anything wrong with the cylinder. He says it's just plain, it scorched it, overheated it, seized up, cooled down a little bit, it fired back up, and he said, I'd give her another go, man. He'd give it the juice. He says, I did it. He says, I know I did it. There wasn't nothing wrong with that cylinder. So, let me tell you where I get my parts from. Wolf Creek Saw Shop, they're out in Colorado. Ryan, if you want parts for your saw, you want to know where I get mine, I go there. Wolf Creek Saw Shop, talk to Ryan. He'll give you a free pen. And just tell him Iron Horse sent you. So I call him up, and I say, hey, I need to put in another order. I did this at noontime. They're 2 hours difference from us. And he says, sure, what do you need? I tell him, I says, by the way, I says, I got a saw back from Buck and Billy. I says, Buckin told me right out. He says, Harvey, I'm a little disappointed in the saw. He says, not like your usual. He says, not what I expected. So they sent it back. Well, I found intake leaks. And I didn't like the carb. Never did. Put one of my carbs on there. Darn thing run like crazy good. Put the original carb back on, which is this one. Nah, it wasn't the same. I've seen it happen before with everything, not just saws, anything. Sometimes you just get one that ain't the same. And there's nothing you can do about it. You just get rid of the carb. Go to something else. So I told him what happened. He says, okay, well, she says, good news for you, Harv. He says, I got no problem with this. He says, I'll cover that right under warranty. I says, okay, but I says, should I be switching to something else? I said, is this a problem that's cropping up all of a sudden? Every manufacturer goes through problems sooner or later. He says, nope, Harvey says, you got to be the first. I said, okay, that's good enough for me. Because Kenzie, he swears by him too. He said, I haven't any trouble with him. It was a fluke, just a fluke. And so he's got it covered. I says, okay, that was nice. I put the rest of the order in. Wasn't a lot of stuff, but it was enough. And he tells me straight out. I says, hey, you ready for my card? No, you don't worry about it. It's on me. That's the guy you're dealing with. That's the kind of credible businessship that I like. When a man will step right up and be decent to you on the phone and stand behind what his product is, that's where you shop. That's right. So you go buy your parts from him if you need parts. So that was kind of interesting. Hey, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. So anyway, that's where we're at with all that. Now, when we put the tap in, we got to put a little piece of brass pipe in this particular saw. I'm going to locate it. I got to pop the cylinder back on, trial and error, do a few things, drill it, and I do epoxy them in. I don't worry. Just the press fit isn't always good enough. I'm going to use one, a brass tube out of a 372, because they got that little elbow. And what it is, where I think I have to put that, I need to get out from under the cylinder base. And I'll share that with you. And I'll share all that with you when we get to that point. It was burning. It was burning decent. You can't see it like I do, but that's medium to light brown is what that actually is. It was burning decent. But I'll tell you what I didn't like. The minute I popped that cylinder, I go, uh-oh, you had a problem. the top of that piston was absolutely freaking black. Well, I'll show you. It was black. Yeah, that's what it was. I said, well, that lets me know there's something going on. Well, what it is, combustion is going down past the ring where that nickel silk flaked off and going in the bottom of the crankcase. And then you'll see that the darn saw I was running for having a problem like that was running pretty good. But it's like Bucket told me this morning. He says, nah, that wasn't. He says, it just wasn't right. He said, I knew it wasn't right. And by God, he was right. I'm surprised the darn thing even run at all. Okay, when you do that 390 carburetor, you use the sleeves that come on the bolts for the 272 and the little tubes if your carburetor's got them in it. Just push them out. It's a little bigger cubic feet a minute carburetor, but that's not most importantly. Them 390s always had a wonderful fuel curve, and I think this is going to wake the saw right the heck up. Of course, we did a new style exhaust. I can't wait for Buckin to get that. You're going to see it on his channel. You guys know something's in the wind. It's Buckin's design. He talked to me about it. We did it. Guy's creative, man. I gotta tell you that. He's creative. He's the kind of guy that I like doing business with. He really is. Pretty laid back, mellow kind of guy. We're probably gonna do a ride maybe in September with the dirt bikes. And unless the world craps out on us again, I'd like to invite some of you guys in September to go ride at Tall Pines with me if you got a bike. I don't care if you got a street bike. Even if you don't have a bike, maybe we'll do it anyway. If you guys ride dirt bikes, trials bikes, off-road of any kind, on-off-road bikes, anything, they got something for everybody over there, but what I'd like to do is, those of you that are interested, just kind of leave a little message that you would or wouldn't want to. And I'd like to go out on, I'll probably bring my Mako 500. I might bring a KTM 250 or one or two of them early 370 RM Suzukis. I might bring them. I love riding them. And we'll have some good times. If you got a side-by-side, four-wheeler, whatever, I don't just go out there and rip all the time. I don't. I'm not saying I don't do it, because I do. But there'll be something for everybody. My brother, I know he'll go. He's got a side-by-side. My nephew's got a four-wheel drive, four-wheeler, big one. And so it's going to be a mixed bag. And it's going to be a lot of fun. This isn't wrote in stone yet. As we come closer to doing something like this, if there's enough interest, we'll get a weekend. We'll figure out a weekend. If you guys got a weekend that works for you already, just give me a holler. Tell me what it is. I'm thinking in September is what I'm thinking. And I got an idea that you'd probably meet Eric Nelson, my logger buddy out in Mass. How you doing, Eric? Eric got a bike. I ain't gonna tell you what it is. When he gets it, I'll show you. I think Eric will let me show you. Alright, let's get out of the bag. He got a Honda CR500. A nice one. From Arizona, Mike. How you doing, Mike? I know you watch videos. I bought bikes from Mike. Mike's a good man. And he's one of the few I trust. Jesus, I should have even said that, because now everybody knows where my dirt bike connection is and where I get these things. And now you go freaking buy him out. Mike's one of the few honest ones. He'll tell you like it is. If it's a core builder, he'll tell you, hey, this is a core builder. You're going to do some work to it. If it's done, he'll tell you. And you're going to pay for that. But you get what you pay for. And, yeah, that's where I get my bikes from Arizona, Mike. The we're going to cover, after we get these 4 freaking little saws out of my hair. Thanks to Aaron. Aaron. I got an Aaron on my mind too, but I mean, he's a cousin's, nephew's, father's, son's, brother's, whatever. We will cover a little bit of how I set my chains up. We'll cover it. If you want to watch good, seriously good, how to sharpen a chainsaw video, Buck and Billy's the one. I haven't mastered my little Elmo here yet. I got to get into it so I can show you too. But the type of wood he cuts in British Columbia is different than what we cut here. So, you East Coast guys, there's a few things that I do that may help you. How much hook is good enough. There's a couple slight differences between Buckin and I, and it's really about where we live and the wood we're in. Buckin files straight across. He drops the saw back, same exact angle I do, and he follows the line. That's a good thing to do. But I drop mine down 10 degrees, and I get up under my point a little deeper. And then, what happens, I'll never get this close enough for you to see it, but on this outside edge, I'm up under that, and it isn't as blunt over here, it's more tapered. See, when you go straight, it's the same from the point, the working point, to the outer edge. When you drop it 10 degrees, you still got that same righteous point, but it undercuts that just a little further out here, right out here. It undercuts it a little further. That's what works for me. Was that right? I don't know. I've cut probably 22 million feet on Doyle doing it that way. Could I have been wrong the whole time? Sure. But I doubt it. That's what works out here in the hardwoods. It works good. Like I said, you do things different wherever you live. And I got all these parts here now that I took out of that carburetor. And I got to get these things put back together. Is the world crazy enough for you? Yeah, it is me too. I'm not even going to talk about it. You see the news, you shut it off, probably same as I do. I'm sick of hearing about it. Sick of seeing it. How stupid are people? That's my problem. How stupid are they? Let's get our world back together. Let's have some fun. I can't wait until we can do some type of a formal meet and greet. You know, something big. Hopefully with Buckin. And I get to meet you guys. You guys get to meet Buckin and his boy, Hogan. That's going to be right off the hook. It's going to be right off the charts. When we finally can do it, I want to see it done. I want to be part of it. Because I love you guys. And it's important for me to be here. When I have to go 4 or 5 days, 6 days, and not making a video, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could make a video about this. A lot of things I'm doing, I can't make a video of because I'm either running equipment or doing something I can't. I've tried it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, it is what it is. I'm Bill Black. Mikey Yo-Yo, how you feeling, buddy? Give me a holler when you get bored. We'll visit. Okay, that's about it for today's video. You're going to see, probably what you're going to see is Daryl's saw tomorrow. I have to take the carb off, and I have to make an adjustment inside for it. And we're going to send that saw back to him. We've got more here. Now that I got some of these, let's just see how good these parts work. I'm expecting good things now for at least 4 saws. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And until next time, goodbye.